and welcome to round 9 of the Daredevil Turbo Series, brought to you by Race First. Hello again, everybody. I am Gary Gatza. We are here at the virtual Long Beach Speedway, home of the Queen Mary, but not the Spruce Goose, and probably the most famous street course for IndyCar racing in the world, here against the beautiful backdrop of Long Beach in California. We have about 30 seconds left in qualifying. Provisionally on the pole, Alex Van de Sant is your pole sitter with a 117.355. And looks like we got Ragster at a 117.431. Yoshikawa, 117.472. Curtis, 118.0 flat there. And Cosgrove with a 118.1. Well, thank everybody for joining us at home. We are getting ready to grid up here to start this 38-lap event. And what they're going to do is they will be starting them on the not quite the max stretch, but they'll be starting them right at turn 9. So they'll just go 10 through 10 and 11. As you see, we have a new graphic. We have a track map that we will be giving a shot here. Let's go over the starting grid for today's 38-lap event here, round 9 of 12. We have one more road course race after this. Alex Van de Sant is your pole sitter with a 117.3. Savian Ragster P2, Nagasiya Yoshikawa 117.471 P3, James Curtis in P4, John Cosgrove, he's under the graphic there, but he's in P5, Simon Fell in P6, Maxon Obenauer, we haven't seen him in a while, not since the first race, I believe, or maybe the second race. He is now P7. Matt Houston, the boss man, in P8, or now we kind of call him the Houston Gambler, I guess. That's kind of what the nickname that we're going to put a pin on him now because of the Lionheart guys. Logan Spaeth, P9 there, the club, the Ohio driver with the Ohio following there. Michael Hanekamp, probably with the next biggest fan club here on the broadcast, P10. Alex Cedar, P11, and Ivan Pandev not taking any time in P12. I don't think that's due to an EOL. I could be wrong. Also, Peter Donchek with no time, and Tony Patty with no time. That is your 14-car field. And we are moving. Here they come. They are coming right around that hairpin, and then they got to get lined up really, really quickly. Coming down, we got a low angle here, so get a better angle. Green flag in the air, and we are off as Ragster actually is going to have the position here on. Ooh, and he slams the door there, right there on Alex Van de Sant, but they coming into turn 1. Everybody's cleanly through. Ragster, Van de Sant slowly starting to put some distance there between themselves and Yoshikawa here as they're coming down to turn 6. Another slight passing zone here as we get into a downhill kind of a they have to take a jog themselves to a bit of a different line. Now they're on the what I would consider the back straight here, where they're in another passing zone here. There you see Ragster taking a slightly different, not different, defensive line as they come into 9. 9, 10, 11, this is where the concrete canyons really come into play. Cars will bounce off these walls and block the track there. Could throw a full course yellow. We've seen it before in other leagues. We've not seen it here. Keep that as a possibility right here as this field slowly starts to get strung out, but they are still somewhat together. Alex on the 317 taking a look at the inside. Decides not to take a look there. And through the fountain area, kind of slide through both of them. Probably looking at possibly one stop this entire race for these guys. As we saw with the, when they were at Sebring, those tires were starting to get really squirrely there towards the middle to end of those runs. I wonder how long these guys are going to stay on these tires. Yeah, these top three quickly pulled away and kind of separated themselves. Actually, a top five for the most part. Put a big gap on P6 by about 4 seconds. As we get into a couple more laps here and we get situated, we will show you the results from the last race, which was Iowa 2 weeks ago. We had a week off. And we will also show you the current point standings as we are into the last quarter of the season. After this, we'll have one more road course and 2 more ovals to close out the second season of the Daredevil Turbo Series. I want to thank everybody that might be watching at the Daredevil Brewery, the tap room, and the restaurant. Thanks for watching and joining us tonight. Those of you in your watch parties, Team Ravion, Team Renovo, welcome to you guys as well. I'm sure you guys are watching. Everybody else at home, the fan clubs, parents, loved ones, whatever watching, make sure to shout out whoever you like to see, and we'll make sure that they get plenty of screen time. Right now we are watching your leader as Ragster. Savion Ragster has a slight edge of about 0.7 of a second over Alex Vanasant, and right at 2 seconds over Yoshikawa. So you're saying the volume's not full enough there on the... We'll turn that up a little bit for you. Here's an aerial shot of the fountain there. Not too far from where the Spruce Goose used to be, and there was a big aluminum dome that they had there that the Spruce Goose was held under for a long time until they moved it out there in the mid-90s. Hey, I thought for the longest time the Spruce Goose was still there. I actually saw a special just the other day that said they moved it up to Oregon. That was news to me. And if you don't know what the Spruce Goose is just look up Howard Hughes, the world's largest airplane. At the time, the largest airplane. Might still be the largest, I don't know, but he actually got it to fly a little bit. Here we are into the 9, 10, 11 complex. Alex is sticking right there with Savion. So we want to see some Yoshikawa and Teeter. Well, we'll get back there and take a look at those guys, see what Teeter is up to. He's currently in P11. There's Yoshikawa. James Curtis in P4. Coming back through the fountain area. Fountain area is a relatively new portion of the course. It used to be at the end of the front straight, they would actually make a right-hand turn. Now they make a left-hand turn into this little fountain area, and then they come back onto what we would consider, I guess, the old course. The old course is my preferred course. I'm not a big fan of this that fountain area. Fountain area just seems kind of pointless. You really can't do anything through there. It's kind of single file anyways. Let's take a look at James Curtis back in P4 as he enters turn 9 right there. That's Cosgrove right there on his 6, not too far behind. Yeah, they used to make a left turn, or excuse me, right turn there back in the day. Back in the original IndyCar Racing 1 and 2 game, that was the configuration you could drive then. Beautiful downtown Long Beach, home of IndyCar's most famous street course since the early 80s. Before, they had Formula 5000 and Formula 1 race here. Before they actually, the Formula 1 had the U.S. Grand Prix West was here until they actually moved it from here to Las Vegas. And then IndyCar decided to pick up the spot, and it has been one of IndyCar, even when they were a split series, the kart Champ Car World Series, open wheel series, whatever you want to call it back then, was one of their crown jewel events back in those particular days. Still a crown jewel event to this day. Used to be early in the season. This year it is going to be late in the IndyCar season. Personally, I like it earlier in the season. Kind of gets the public image and everything building up for IndyCar into the Indy 500 portion of the schedule. Cosgrove, this is your closest battle on the racetrack at the moment. Actually, not exactly your closest battle. Well, let's go back up to the front there. Alex Vanessant, that is your closest battle on the racetrack at the moment. As the rear of the field starting to get strung out a little bit. We got 3 cars already out. Pandev, Patty, and Obenauer. Patty is joining us right now in chat. Say how you doing to everybody. Say hey to Tony Patty there. Heinekamp currently P11 and Teeter in P10. Donchak is in the pit. I wonder if he had a bit of an issue. He has been in there for about 22 seconds, so he's down and away. That would have been, oh, he's blinking in and out. Donchak in pit lane for 7.5 seconds, so could be scheduled. Maybe he decided to make his stop early. Back up to the front. Let's take a look through the field here while we got a second. Here is Michael Hannekamp here coming down the backstretch into turn 9. Kind of into this sweeping turn 10 complex. Hard on the brakes, into the hairpin, crank that wheel right out to the wall, down the front straight. Seeing Donchak back in the pits again. Must have had an incident, got repaired, left, and found that the car was not working the way he liked it to, went back for another tow. Sometimes that will fix another problem. There's Alex Teeter by demand. He's currently into the turns 6, 7, and 8 complex right here. A little bit further up, there's Matt Houston. Actually, further back, I think Matt Houston might have had a moment where Teeter got around him. Yeah. So Teeter got around Matt Houston. Matt Houston currently showing an 8th. I don't think that's right, though. Got some weird timing and scoring going on again. Let's go up to P7. There's Simon Fell in the multicolored car. This is a close battle on the racetrack right now with Simon Fell and Logan Spaeth. Here is the results from not last week, but last event. See, Alex Van de Sant won on that really great competitive race there at Iowa Speedway, as he beat Wes Shire just by 15 tenths of a second there. James Curtis, Yoshikawa, Simon Fell, Daniel Smith, Alex Teeter, John Cosgrove, Matt Houston, and Michael Heinekamp round out your top 10. Let's take a look at then how that affects the points. There's a Reddit league there. West Shire currently has a 20-point lead over Alex Van de Sant. He is not in the lineup tonight, folks. This is really going to shake up the points championship that you might actually see. We probably will see Alex Van de Sant take the lead. Not sure what happened to Wes. Hope everything's okay. I know that there's some storms going through the Midwest. Maybe some power got knocked out. Not sure. Hope all is well. He still has 3 races after this to make an attack to try to regain that top spot where he's been in for much of the season, pretty much starting at the Lucas Oil event. Alex Van de Sant P2. James Curtis, who is also in tonight's lineup, currently in P4 at the moment. He's going to make up some space too here on the championship. Simon Fell, P4. He's in tonight's lineup, currently P7. We just had him on the screen. Michael Janey not in a lineup, so he is ahead of Savion Ragster. Ragster currently your leader at the moment. And so Ragster will make some points, make some distance up here on the points as well. So the points situation is going to get shook up as we go into our next race. And that would be... Next race is going to be Milwaukee here in a week. So they're back to the Oval. Then they go to Laguna Seca and the Corkscrew. And then they come back to the Midwest to Gateway. These cars will be on a... These cars are pretty much well designed and well equipped to run on that Gateway Oval. Probably be a very entertaining race there to round out the season. Back on the racetrack, we are rejoining the battle here with Simon Fell and Logan Spaeth. This is the closest battle currently on the racetrack. This is a battle for P6. Oh, Spaeth takes turn 11 wide. Fell gets in there, gets underneath him. Al takes a look on the outside, not going to be there. He tucks back in, and they enter in turn 1 together. Great view from above with the drone cam and the crane cam. Give you a good look on a good portion of this track. A couple of these are on top of the buildings as well. Back up to the front there. The leaders are right nose to tail. shoreline drive there. Take this diagonal approach there on the Seaside Way. Make that turn into turn 8 there as wide as possible. Pretty fast turn, to be honest with you. If you look there in the distance, just going under the walkway there, is Yoshikawa. Yoshikawa hasn't really let these guys get too far away. Alex Vanasat taking a wide line through turn 10 there to build up the momentum, maybe close up a little bit more space as they come into 11 on the hard braking zone, down the main straight, just past start-finish line. Coming down to turn 1. Just to the left is the pit outline. Or excuse me, to the right is pit outline. My left. Screen left, driver's right. Ragster got a little wide there under acceleration, leaving the door open to get Vandersen even closer. Now Vandersen, I know, wants to definitely get into the points lead here for this championship. But if he doesn't know, he probably does. He's like one of the smartest guys I know when it comes to driving these any type of car. That his direct competition, here he goes, going to take a look to the outside. Going to take the long way around, the faster way around. They're side by side going to turn 9. Here's 10 side by side. As I was just getting ready to say here, they come into 11 in the hairpin. Great car control by both those guys. I'm ready to say if something should happen to Alex, that's going to compromise him probably taking the championship points lead, and he might just want to ride this thing out. But right now he has intent to win as he's side by side coming down into turn 1 with Ragster. Ragster's going to go ahead and let him go. Now I think we're going to see possibly Van de Sant pull away as he gets a little squirrely there on the back end coming out of the fountain area. He's up against the wall. That's going to open the door for Ragster. I wonder how much damage, if anything, that might have done. Ragster putting on a bit of a block there, allowing his individual move. So Alex got to take it easy now. Take it easy as if he doesn't need to win this. He just needs to finish really well, and he's probably going to take the points lead. So you saw Alex there pound the wall in the turn 4 and 5 area. We'll see how well he does under high speed area here on the front stretch. He is going to visit pit road right away. Let's cut to Alex there on pit road. He is in the box, up and down, new sets of tires, and away. So that is going to be his one stop. He's right about at the halfway point for this race. So he is done. He stopped at lap 16. So 15 laps on that stint. Yeah, they got to come all the way out to that blue line. Oh, gosh, and he's going to come out right in front of Fell and Spaeth. Not sure they're going to be too happy about that. I think Fell actually was getting ready to make a pass on Spaeth there. Again, want to thank everybody for taking time to out of their busy Thursday night to watch round 9 of 12 of the Daredevil Turbo Series. I want to thank Daredevil Brewery for their series sponsorship. Make sure that you check out both their locations. They're in Speedway right next to AJ Foyt Racing Shop. And also there in Keystone, the Crossing, just off of Nora, their restaurant there. So the restaurant, tap room, and breweries. Make sure to visit all those locations. Check out their fine brews. While you're there at the restaurant, make sure you eat a lot and drink responsibly. Space makes a dive to the pits. And this is the third car, really, to make a stop. Savian Ragster also did make a stop. He's back underway. Current leader is Yoshikawa. Get back up front. He is all by himself. Again, how long do they want to stay out there with these tires? These Cooper tires extremely hard. They got good life to them, but once they begin to go, they become a handful. Yoshikawa is your leader coming into turn one. Right in front of him is Logan Spaeth, who just left pit road. So far, everybody is pitted except for Yoshikawa, Curtis, Cosgrove, Fell, and that's it. 9 cars currently are running at the moment. As you see, Yoshikawa, Curtis, Cosgrove, Van de Sant, Ragster, Fell, Spaeth, Teeter, and Heinekamp are your 9 cars remaining. Matt Houston has parked it as he's going on to the BMW Club broadcast that you can check out immediately following this race here on Raceverse. Make sure if you have some time later tonight after checking that out, make sure to check out the Schaefer Cup race that we broadcast last night. An extremely entertaining finish there. Very exciting race. Make sure you check that out. I'm sure you'll like that here as both series here visiting Long Beach. Before moving on to the oval, the Schaefer Cup will be moving on to the D-shaped 2-mile, soon-to-be defunct oval in Fontana, but it's still there for the time being. NASCAR hasn't bulldozed it yet because they need another short track. But thanks to iRacing, it will always be a super speedway to us. And these cars, the PM18, the Daredevil Turbo Series, will move on to the mile at Milwaukee, the very historic Milwaukee Mile. Traditionally, it is the site of the first race following Indy 500 for the longest time. Now that tends to be, that was filled by Texas for a while during the IRL days, and now in the IndyCar Series days, it tends to be the duels in Detroit as following up the Indy 500. I kind of always like the idea of an oval following up Indy, because a lot of the you'd see a lot of those guys that were the oval only extra drivers at Indianapolis also make the trip to Milwaukee and try to make that field and make that race a little bit more entertaining, but you don't see that anymore. There is a rumor that next season's IndyCar schedule, the real-life IndyCar schedule, the NTT IndyCar Series, will be adding Iowa back, sponsored by Hy-Vee, which will be the race sponsor, supposedly. So looking forward to a new oval added to the NTT IndyCar Series. As you saw last week, 2 weeks ago, this series and the Schaefer Cup ran very entertaining races on the Iowa 7/8 of a mile D-shaped progressively banked oval there outside of Des Moines. It's in Newton, but it's about 20-30 minutes outside of Des Moines there, just on the just follow the highway out of Des Moines east, and you'll go right by it. It's right next to the interstate. Yeah, it's amazing that Alex could bounce off these walls. These cars are, I would say, they're pretty short of being tanks. They could take a beat. I mean, there's like the old, what is it, the old Timex commercial that takes a beating, but it keeps on ticking. Takes a licking, but it keeps on ticking. There you go. These things are very much like that. Here we got our current leader coming into the pits He has about an 11-second gap on James Curtis, currently in P2. He has not made his stop yet. So we're watching Yoshikawa coming down to his stall. We'll see if Curtis is going to make the turn on the pit road or not. No, Curtis is going to continue running. We will pick up the action with Curtis going into turn 1 with Cosgrove. Neither one of these guys have pitted as of yet. James Curtis is in a position where he is going to pick up some major points here in the championship. Again, with Westshire not making tonight's race. Again, hope everything there is okay. Nothing serious. We've seen in the past that these cars will get into pretty major wrecks. Then they go get the tow to the pits. And then 10-15 minutes later, we'll see those cars back out on track, fully repaired, at least visually repaired. I don't know about actually repaired the way they react on the track, of course, but we've seen them looking pretty much just as new as pulled off the truck. So I'm not sure why the game does that for these things and, you know, makes the... Ooh, Cosgrove sneaking the nose in there underneath James Curtis. Yeah, but the game definitely treats these cars like tanks, and they're not like that in real life. I can tell you that for sure. They just bang off the wall and they will fall apart. Showing Heinekamp is out. Not sure what happened to him, but now we're down to 8 cars as we are just past the halfway point. Still a long race to go. Your purple lap holder right now is Ragster at the 117.2. Last time by, he went at 117.3, so he is currently moving pretty quickly. Vanasan's best lap's a 117.251. Ragster's a 117.215. So in the same neighborhood, as you see on the track map. The blue dot is your leader right there with Cosgrove right behind him. Cosgrove making the turn on the pit road. As we will take a look at him heading down to his stall. Here comes Alex Vanasant, P3, coming out of the hairpin down the main straight. Going to pick up the position on Cosgrove. There he goes. That time by James Curtis of 118.2. Alex Vanasant of 117.5 as he tears into that 13-second lead little by little. Curtis is going to have to pit here. He's losing too much time, and he might want to make that turn on the pit road sooner rather than later. If he keeps it up, he's just going to continue to lose about a second a lap. Even right behind Vanasant, Ragster was even faster that time, 117.264. As Ragster continues to lay down 117.2s. Okay, so we're hearing from Race First Control that Wes had to work tonight, which is a bummer. But that at least all things are good there. No health reasons, no storms knocking out equipment or what have you. A lively discussion about the definition of what isn't a hairpin. Well, that seems like a good thing for chat. Go ahead, people in chat, tell us your definition of what you think a hairpin is. And don't tell me it's something you stick in your hair, please. Is it a slow speed corner that that make the turn you have to cross your hands as you turn the wheel? course, I'm sure there's a actual proper definition out there somewhere that someone can Google up. We're watching Ragster now as Van de Sant is your new leader. James Curtis did make that stop on the pit road. He's back underway. He had a good stop, 6.9. Best stop so far. Alex Van de Sant with a 6.4. But he made his first stop early, so that was a short fill, and that actually got him about a half second over Ragster, which is definitely aiding that 2.2 second lead he has right now. Ragster was actually about a second faster than Yoshikawa, so that's aided that 9-second lead that he has there. Showing Teeter just came in for a quick 1.4 second stop. Not sure what happened there, but we'll take a look at him here as he is currently in P8. Logan Spaeth there, P7 there, as he just escapes the camera shot. Coming into turn 9. Seems to be a lot of problems happen to turn 9. Not today with these cars, but the R18s tend to make turn 9 the 9, 10, and 11 complex entertaining, let's put it that way. A little bit further ahead, there's Simon Fell. Teeter is in front of Fell. Did I just hear Fell spin? Yes, he did. Let's actually check that one out. Did he make some contact with the wall? Here he comes. And just goes in. Oh, and he does make contact with the tire barrier. Or if that is going to impact the way his car handles or not. He's crabbing. I think he's crabbing a little bit. This might not be good. He might have to make a stop. Yeah, he's look at that wheel. Look at that wheel. Let's get on the. Yeah, he's like, I'm not going to be able to. I'm just going to punch out and I'm going to tow. There he goes into the tow. Hopefully that will affect the alignment of his car. But that's going to impact him in the points championship because he is in the top 5. Here is Alex Van de Sant coming through what I would call a hairpin. As we are just over the shoulder of your leader right now, coming down the main straight. There's pit out. Gets close to the wall. This is where he hit the wall a little while ago. Seems to be okay. Wide portion of the track right here. Underneath the coaster. You can take this corner a lot faster than it looks right there. Cut across the crown of the road. Set it up for turn 8. Down, I guess what we call the backstretch. Ragster's right behind him, only 1.8. Let's take a look here in turn 9. Hit those rumble strips. Come out, got a continuous turn 8, continuous radius corner. Hit the brakes. Oh, there we go. Turning in tight there. Cross over those hands. Oh, a little squirrely under power there. And Ragster is closing the gap. .5 seconds back to Ragster. He has cut that down considerably. Back through the fountain area. any corner you can put in your hair. Okay. So currently, 8 of the 14 cars that started this race are still running. Your battle, you're looking at it right here. Your 2 leaders within a second and a half of each other right now on the racetrack. P3 currently coming out of the turn 8 area. That is Yoshikawa. Thank everybody for watching again. We got 10 laps to go here at Long Beach. You've joined us to round 9. This is race first coverage of round 9 of 12 of the Daredevil Turbo Series. Current leader is Alex Van Asant, who is P2 in the points, but P1 on the field right now, looking to make some major ground up in the championship. Right behind him, Savion Ragster and Yoshikawa rounding out your top 3. Pretty comfortable top 3 right now, as Yoshikawa has about a 17-second lead over James Curtis. We'll take a peek at the current point situations one more time. Want to thank Daredevil Brewery for sponsoring the series. Daredevil is a fixture of the Indy craft beer scene. Main brewery and tap room is located direct across the street on Main Street from AJ Foyt Racing. It's a short walking distance from the main gates at IMS there. They also have the beer hall and restaurant in the Nora neighborhood of Indianapolis, right there off of Keystone Parkway, Nora Drive, right next to Keystone at the crossing area, give or take a little bit there underneath the bridge there. Make sure you hit up all the locations. Enjoy yourself a couple of pints. Look at Alex. He's sliding through those corners there. He is definitely hanging on, trying to keep that car underneath him as Ragster continues to cut down the lead, down to 1.2 seconds. But make sure when you do visit the restaurants that you drink responsibly, but eat a lot. Ragster's able to dive into those corners and braking zones a lot deeper right now than Alex. Wonder if Alex maybe make a dive one more time to pit road, go fresh tires, and try to do a bit of a bonsai run here at the end. I don't know. We're running out of time. Ragster 1:17.062 now, the purple lap. So he's got it down to a 1:17.0 as he is directly now on the rear attenuator gearbox of Alex Van Asant. Van Asant actually is going to got some lap traffic in front of him in the form of Teeter and Simon Fell. Simon Fell, that is a battle for position right now. So those two guys, even though they are, well, they're actually, you know what? They are both, actually Teeter pitted there. So my mistake, Teeter is in the pit. So now we just have Simon Fell. Spaeth is currently on the lead lap. So there is not a battle for position, even though now that those two are currently next to each other in the standings. That's not a battle for position. So I don't suspect they will hold up Alex very much. See, Ragster kind of getting there a little sideways. So this is last night about the point in time of the race where the leader of the Schaefer Cup Series race encountered a lapped car that hit the road, hit the road. It hit the road, yes. Hit the wall on that 9, 10, and 11 complex right there and ended up collecting the leader, knocking off one of his front wings. Ivan Fell's going to let the 2 leaders go. Ooh, Ragster gets right back in there. gap keeps getting closer and closer, down to a 0.6 of a second here with 7 laps to go. We were asking last night the current points leader, or at least the not the points leader, but one of the points contenders, point championship contenders in the Schaefer Cup, because there was a lot of drivers at the front of the field that were just kind of making a one-off appearance, and he was racing a couple of them in the corner, and I asked, did you just kind of, when you saw those guys, decided that you would just let them go instead of racing them real hard? And he goes, yeah, that's exactly what I did. I wanted to discretion, better part of valor there, instead of racing them hard for position and getting into some incident that he knew that he was really racing to be best in class, and being best in class in effect was basically a win for him, maximizing on the points in that particular series. So make sure check us out next week, next Wednesday, myself, Matt Houston, here on Raceverse on the Schaefer Cup, Reddit IndyCar League Schaefer Cup Series, as they go to the 2-mile oval at Fontana, as the points championship is close as ever there, but it'll be a very entertaining race. And then next Thursday, come back here, come back and see us, as Daredevil and the Reddit League will pair up again one more time to race at the Milwaukee Mile, as both championships are coming down to the wire. Alex Van de Sant's brought that lead back up to a second. Wondering if Ragster's tires have finally just given up. 5 to go. Now, I don't have any definite news or anything right now, but there is going to be a Season 3 of the Daredevil Turbo Series. Definitely a Season 3 of the Turbo Series. I believe right now what Daredevil is at least going to be on for the sponsor. We'll see. I certainly hope they are. But I believe there's already signups beginning for that. So if you'd like to, if you like this form of racing, you like these style of cars, make sure to stop by iRacing, search out the Daredevil Turbo Series Reddit IndyCar League, join apply to League that way, join the Discord server, and you can network with your would-be future competitors there. Find the area where you could sign up for the league there. Find I don't think there's a schedule yet or anything, but they will be a Season 3. Just not exactly sure what's on the schedule and much of the particulars, but there is going to be a Season 3. So if you're liking what you're seeing, make sure you sign up, because there is going to be the series will continue, it looks like. Four to go here at Long Beach. Real quickly, let's take a look at the schedule. Again, reminder, there's the Grand Prix of Long Beach, 38 laps tonight. Next week, then we go to the cold and frothy 100 at Milwaukee Mile at the Milwaukee Fairgrounds there, State Fairgrounds. Dog Days of Summer Grand Prix at Laguna Seca and the Corkscrew. Right there in wine country, and then they'll close out the series here in the first week of September at the Gates of Hell finale at the Gateway Speedway there, just outside of St. Louis. Actually, I'm going to be going there this weekend. I'm not going to be going to Gateway, but I'm going to go right by it, but I am going to St. Louis, so I will get a chance to see the racetrack as we drive by it. Point situation, looking at again, Alex Vanasant is looking to gain big time. James Curtis looking to gain big time. Simon Fell will actually gain some spots here because he's not having the greatest race, but he's getting another solid top 10 as he's in P7. He's been looking to, so right now, today's big loser is probably going to be West Shire. For unfortunately, he has the works. You really can't call it a big loss. I mean, the man's got to pay the bills. But not making the race will cost him some distance in the point championship. So you'll probably see Alex James move up. I don't think West will fall as far as third, but it's a possibility. Simon Fell probably is going to just get closer here. Ragster might, probably will jump over Janey. Yoshikawa probably will also do the same as well, as he's currently in P3, a very solid P3. So points situation will be jumping around one more time. Let's get back to the racetrack. 2 laps to go, and we got 0.7 of a second lead. Ragster over Yoshikawa. He makes a ton of space up there under braking into the fountain area there. Alex looking to make 2 in a row. 1 on the short track there at Iowa. Going to win on a street course here in California. We don't want to jinx him, though. It's just getting closer and closer every turn to achieving that feat. Ragster 0.8 of a second that time into turn 9. White flag in the air. It's going to take a mistake by Alex Vanasant in order for Ragster to probably to get close and to pull off the pass. Each one's definitely going to, he dives in there deep. Look at them sliding through. 0.8 of a second. Few more turns to go. You see him on the track back up in the lower left corner of your screen. The blue dot is Ragster. The white dot right in front of him with the 1 is Alex Vanasant as they're going down the backstretch, approaching turn 9. Closes the gap under braking, not close enough. Here into the continuous sweeping turn 10. Last chance braking, under braking here, turning that wheel, trying to get around. Not gonna do it unless there's some issue under acceleration. Alex Vanasant is gonna win this here Grand Prix at Long Beach, 2 in a row, and he is now probably gonna be your points leader with 3 races to go. Here's Yoshikawa making the turn around the hairpin, and he will secure the last step of the podium. That is his. We'll check out James Curtis as he's coming through the 9, 10, and 11 complex. And he will finish on the lead lap, the last car on the lead lap. And that is it. And let's take a look at the final results here. At Long Beach, Alex Vanasant is your winner, 2 in a row. P2, Savion Ragster there with Team Renovo. And P3, and Nagasiya Yoshikawa Another podium for Yoshikawa. So again, getting a string of good luck there for Yoshikawa to wrap out the second half of the season, making a good run there in the points. James Curtis, Logan Spaeth round out your top 5. Cosgrove, Feld, Teeter, Heinekamp, and Matt Houston your top 10. Donchak, Obenauer, Pandev, and Patty round out your top 13 there. And I don't think we had, I think we did have a 14th starter, but I don't think they gridded. Nope, they did not. So it was only just those 14. Oop, there you go. Pandev and Tony there, for some reason, showing 10, 11, 12, 14, 13. Gotta love these overlays sometimes. All right, so let's check out what we got going on. Let's get our third place finisher if he is available. Not yet. He is not yet. So let's go ahead and there he is. He's actually popping into the waiting room. Let's pop him in here. Mr. Yoshikawa, P3, solid result for you today. We've talked earlier when you made your podium there a couple weeks ago, another podium a couple weeks following that. You feeling like the second half of the season's kind of coming to you?
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you just fine.
Cool. Yeah, finally getting some good luck, I guess. I like Long Beach a lot, so yeah, it was a good race. Couldn't really keep up with the two guys ahead. I think maybe on one lap pace I could have, but I just figured if I'm gonna be able to like do low 17s every lap, I'm gonna make a mistake at some point. So I figured I'll just back off and get the points. So yeah, it's a good race.
Know your limitations and discretion and valor. Good shot. It was. Did you find yourself dozing off at all during the race? I mean, you were kind of by yourself for a majority of the race. It was just concentrate, hitting your spots, that type of thing.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it was kind of hard to, keep in concentration when like no one's around you for the whole race. But
right,
especially at somewhere like Long Beach, that's kind of what I was hoping for. Because like the more cars around you, it's just on such a tight track, it can be bad. So yeah, that's kind of what I wanted.
So next week we move back to another oval. It's going to be the mile at Milwaukee. Sometimes that can be a bit of a single file track just by nature of the low line necessarily isn't the fastest line around there. What's your take on Milwaukee, and what's your outlook on it as this season's starting to get round down here to the end?
I'm excited for it. I've never driven it in this car, but I've driven it in other cars, the Indy car and the USF, so it should be fun. Yeah, from what I remember, the racing is pretty like single file, but from what I remember, at least in the Indy car, it's pretty fun. So looking forward to it, and yeah, and also the last 2 rounds. So yeah, hopefully I can make a little bit of a push for maybe top 5 in the points.
Well, it's a good time to do it.
Yeah.
While we got you here, anybody you want to say hi to, shout out to while we got you up in the booth?
I don't know. Thanks to all the other drivers for keeping it clean, especially somewhere that's tough like Long Beach, and my team and all that, and friends and family. Yeah.
All right. Well, there you have it.
Yeah, glad this went well.
Yeah, me too. I'm glad this race went well as well. Actually, it's a bit of a longer race than we had last night with the Schaefer Cup. Schaefer Cup, actually, they did 40 laps here, and you guys at 38. So you guys were in the car a lot longer. So the good part on your guys is to stay focused and not bounce off these concrete canyon walls, and that could have led to a whole bunch of other things going wrong. But at least next week you're moving to at least a little bit more of a wide open space on a 1 mile oval. Then you have the road course at Laguna Seca, and you finish out at Gateway. So only 3 more to go. And you're right, you're making that run to the top 5. So good luck there, and we will see you in about a week or so.
Yeah, thanks. Have a good one.
There you go. As he is bolted already. All right, let's see if we can get Ragster here. Savion, can you hear me? Savion. Mr. Ragster, can you hear me? I think we we had this problem last time. We'll bump him down to the waiting room. Boop. And bring up Alex. Hey, Alex, looks like Savion was away from the keyboard at the moment when we brought him up. So it is your turn. 2 in a row, man. Definitely making, well, I mean, that's when you got to make a run of the championship in the last 5 races. That's the time to do it. And unfortunately, though, your main rival had to work tonight, so he was unable to grid up with you. So by that nature, it looks like that you might take the points lead, but still, it's not over yet. There's still some many turns and miles to go. But your thoughts on tonight, and especially bouncing off that wall at one point.
Yeah, that was not great. No, it was a great race. I mean, I love this track. And Savion got a really good start. I told him this too. Last 2 times I qualified on pole here in official races, once in the Indy car and once in this car, I've just blown turn 1 and ended my race. So I was a little conservative, didn't quite know where to brake, and he got a better jump. So I was fine to just chill behind him and put some pressure. Once I got around him, though, I had air on my front wing, and it was just insanely loose. I just completely caught me off guard. Yeah, fortunately I had that fast repair, and I got lucky with where I came out in traffic. I knew it was going to be tight, but not that tight. But yeah, wild race. Just was able to, make up for that.
Yeah, I was saying during the broadcast, I was wondering, I wonder how much pressure that he's going to put on Savion there, because you really didn't need to, I guess, because you had your number 1 rival in the points wasn't in the lineup. And I'm like, you could kind of just ride it out, maximize the points in P2, and probably still take the points lead. And that's when you kind of started making that move, and then you bounced off the wall, and I'm like, uh-oh. I mean, it did make things a little bit easier knowing that your number 1 chief rival was not there, that you didn't necessarily need to make that move. But was the car damaged at all when you hit that, or was it just a lucky glancing blow?
No, it was definitely damaged. I could see the left side bent in a little bit. It wasn't bad, and I probably could have stayed with him and still stayed second. But I knew the pit delta was about 35 seconds. The guys behind us were a little below that, so it was might as well bring it in, see what I can do. And then that undercut just really worked. I don't quite know how or why, because usually this car gets faster as the tires wear. But yeah, made it happen.
Towards the end there, I think you kind of stabilized it with the last 4 laps or so, but definitely in the last 10, Ragster put a good run on you and got within about a half second at one point. Were you just kind of hanging on? Were you just kind of pacing yourself? Were those tires just kind of not have as much performance as you thought they were originally? I mean, he really closed the gap up on you, or was he just really just driving you down that tough?
Yeah, I was really trying to manage and pace myself. The setup's fairly loose, so it was, especially out of the last corner, it's really easy to wheel spin. And if you take a certain corner wrong, it'll slide. I'm still trying to learn the tires on this car, really. It's what's unique about this, especially compared to the Indy car. My main thing I drive is as the tires wear and get heat up and build up more pressure, and then the fuel burns down, the car gets faster. So I set my best lap with 3 to go. So
yeah,
it was I think he peaked his tires a little before I did, and then mine peaked, but I don't know how, because I pit before him. So it's weird. I just tried to be consistent, not make any mistakes, and it worked out.
Well, you got the win. You got the fast lap, a 1:16.9 right there towards the end. So half the Grand Slam, all things, because they're not too bad. Going to Milwaukee, we already know that you're pretty good on the ovals. Your thoughts on Milwaukee as we get to the last 3 events here this season?
Yeah, Milwaukee's going to be fun. I've never driven this car here, like most ovals, to be honest, but it's a fun track. It's one of my favorites in the IndyCar. I love those flat ovals and the way they drive. Hopefully this car is similar. Yeah, just got to see what the setup is like. It's gonna be really hard to beat guys like Wes, and I don't know if Jason's gonna run it, but their main thing is this car on ovals. So just gotta try and maximize the points where I can, and stay close, and hopefully I can control it in the last few races.
Shout out sponsors, people you want to say hi to.
Yeah, as always, big thanks to lmcgear.com as well as Happy Trails Chili Company, and thank you to Race First for putting on this broadcast.
Oh, it's our pleasure. Well, another win for Alex, 2 in a row as we're getting to the last quarter of the season. Not a bad time to peak, in my opinion. We'll see you next week at Milwaukee. Congrats.
Thanks, Gary.
There we go. We got Alex Anderson there. Savion, I'm being told that he is good to go, so we're going to bring him on up here. He is showing his mic muted, but Savion, you there? Mic's unmuted. You there? I don't know why. I was told that everything was working. It must be working down in the other channel or something. No, I still can't hear you. Let's do this. Let's go down to... let's bring him down to... let's see if we can maybe do a wedding interview. Let's see if we can get Tony and Alex to clear out of the waiting for the interview, and maybe he can talk there. We'll see. Maybe is there another channel we can put him into? Oh, yeah, there's another one. Let's go to Turbo Channel 1. And let's try moving him down to Turbo Channel 1. Can you hear me? Are you there? No. I don't know what's going on. I feel bad because this is the second time that we tried to get him in. I think one time he was a winner, so not sure why. Not having good luck with him on the booth there. Try one more time and then we'll have to probably wrap her up. Can you hear us now? No. And drops out. Bummer. All right. Well, unfortunately for the Team Renovo watch party fans, fortunately we'll not get a comment from Savion. I'm not sure why it's having such issues with him and audio, but unfortunately that seems to be the case. Can we hear you now?
Not the interview booth.
All right. Now we got you in the waiting for interview booth here. Savion, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Barely. Okay, you're not coming in very clearly, but tell us about if you can hear me. Tell us about your race and running down Alex there at the end. Did you just kind of run out of time or run out of tire?
Can you hear me better now? Is this better at all?
Yeah, we can hear you a lot better now.
Okay, cool. I guess it was just my headphones. But yeah, that was a really awesome race. Honestly, the guy had a lot of pace out there, Alex, and it was weird because it felt like he wasn't going to be able to get around us. We just had just enough pace to stay ahead, and then I have absolutely no idea what happened because I boxed about a half a second ahead of him, and then he came out 3 seconds up the road. And we were catching him. We finished, the race about half a second behind, but I just have no idea where those 3 seconds came from.
Yeah, in the box, he was a half second quicker in the box, 6.4 versus 6.9. And on pit road, he was quicker, 38.4 to 39.8. So he was just a little bit quicker on pit road overall. Again, I don't know where the rest of that time came from, but we can certainly account for a little bit of it there. He also did pit sooner because he had that damage on the when he hit the wall when he was I think you and him were kind of running side by side, and he might have had a short fill where you had a bit of a longer fill, maybe a lap later, which you wouldn't think it would be that much time though. So interesting. Got to go back and look at the replay and kind of see what was lost and what was gained there. But overall, it was kind of a steady run. I mean, towards the end there, I mean, did you just kind of run out of time, or you just run out of tire and to try to catch him down? Because you pretty much took it down from like a 2.5 second lead or so down to about a half second at the closest point.
I think I ran out of talent. Let's see. No, if we just had a little bit more time, another 5 laps, because we were catching them just 2-3 tenths
here and there, yeah.
Most of the laps, but yeah, just got right up to him and couldn't make it at the end. But I really look forward to battling him on the next road course that we have coming up here soon.
We've got one to go after this. We go to the Corkscrew at Laguna Seca. I would imagine that since you seem to be a road course ace, that's probably a place that you've been to and like.
Yeah, Laguna Seca. So that's kind of like our local track. I live in the Bay Area, so that track's only about an hour drive from my house. So I've seen a lot of events there. I've never driven it in real life, but I've done a lot of laps there. So I'll be really excited to drive at Laguna Seca.
Well, there you go. I got one more chance there. What's your outlook on the ovals, though? You got 2 of those left. Next up is Milwaukee. We've seen you on the ovals this year. You're not a stranger to them. What do you think about Milwaukee?
Honestly, I can't figure out the ovals. It's just weird. It's like you turn left and then you turn left and then you turn left. It doesn't make any sense to me. I've actually never done an oval race before joining this series, so I'm still really trying to wrap my head around them. And they're fun. I do enjoy them, especially the small ovals. So I'm looking forward to getting some more experience in the future.
That's maybe me and you should kind of work out some deal here, because I am not a road course guy, but I love IndyCar, and when it comes to IndyCar on ovals, that's my thing. And maybe we can work out some information sharing and exchange there. You help me on the road course, I'll help you out on the ovals.
Sounds good. Sounds like a deal.
Go. That's how we make deals here, is you find the opportunity and you capitalize on it. Well, speaking of capitalizing, you're also going to make some moves in the points. I don't know exactly where you will end up, but you probably will gain a position or two, because a couple of the guys, well, first of all, you finished ahead of most everyone ahead of you in the points, with the exception of Alex. And some of those other people that were immediately around you didn't even make today's race, unfortunately. So you're going to really capitalize on that. With 3 to go, you still think you got a shot here, as we got 2 ovals and 1 road course left?
If I could be in the top 10 in the standings, that'd be pretty awesome for me.
Well, I'm pretty safe to say if you make the next 3 races, you're pretty much going to finish in the top 10. So good luck there. Congrats there. While we got you, and I think this is the first time we've actually got a chance to talk to you and interview you, because last time we were having mic issues as well. Do you have anybody that you want to say hi to, shout out to, while we got you here?
Yeah. I just want to thank all the guys at Daredevil Racing, my crew members that I practice with, and they're a great bunch of guys. All the guys at Renovo, the company that I work for, they're a sponsor for us. They're awesome. I'm waving at them right now. They watched from a Zoom watch party from their houses, and they're always cheering us on. So thank you guys for the support.
Well, we want to thank them for watching, and want to thank you guys for being such an important part of the series this year. So congratulations, P2, 3 races ago. Still looks like we got a bit of a shot here to make a run at this championship. So congrats, and hey, great to finally talk to you with all these issues that we've been having tech-wise. But congrats, and we will see you in a week at Milwaukee.
Thanks. Sounds good. Have a good one.
All right. And there we go. So we finally got a chance to talk to the man, the myth, the legend. We will run out the final standings one more time before we let everyone go. Once more, we do want to thank those with Daredevil and the Daredevil Brewery. Make sure to visit them at their brewery, their taproom, and their restaurant locations, whether it be in Speedway, Indiana, or there in Nora, Indiana, just off of our, not Nora, Indiana, but just in the Nora area, on the north side of Indianapolis, just off of Keystone Parkway, not too far from Keystone at the crossing there. That's their restaurant. And of course, their brewery and their main room there is right there next to AJ Foyt Racing on Main Street there in Speedway, not too far from the main gates of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway itself. But we want to thank them and everybody that might be watching from those locations. Again, thank you for your patronage, your time. And if you are there, make sure that you eat a lot and drink responsibly. So let's round out the top standings here. The 14 drivers we had a field up for this event here at Long Beach. Your podium and winner back-to-back, Alex Vanisant, P1, Sabian Ragster, P2, and Nagase Yoshikawa, P3. Your top 5 is James Curtis and Logan Spaeth. Your top 10 is John Cosgrove, Simon Fell, Alex Teeter, Michael Hannekamp, and Matt Houston. And rounding out your top 14 is Peter Donchak, Maximilian. Maximilian. That's definitely like a James Bond type name, but it's Maxon Obenauer is P12 there. Tony Patty P13, and Ivan Pandev. I'm not sure what happened there. If he had some sort of issue and could not field tonight, but he was finished P14 at the tail end of the field. So that's going to wrap it up for tonight. To make sure to catch us next week, next Wednesday, the Schaefer Cup will move to the Big Oval at Fontana for their next round of event there. That's going to be a great race. A lot of high-speed drafting, multiple lines, you name it. That's going to be fun as that championship is getting pretty tight. And then next week you will see us at an oval as well, but just a slightly smaller one at Milwaukee, where you're hearing that some of these guys don't necessarily have a lot of experience there at the Milwaukee Mile in these cars. So that's going to be pretty interesting. So that's going to be it for us. Again, this is Gary with Race First. This is round 9. It just completed of 12. And make sure to check us out next week. And again, if you're at Daredevil Brewery, make sure to drink responsibly and eat a lot. Join us next week with the Turbo Cup, Turbo Series, and we will see you then. Thanks for watching. Have a great night.